Good evening, Vacaville. I'd like to call this meeting to order for the Parks and Recreation Commission for the City of Vacaville, September 2nd, 2020. We'd appreciate everyone who is participating in tonight's Parks and Recreation teleconference meeting. This meeting will be conducted pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order N-2920. Please bear with us as we attempt to use remote tools. Instructions to call into the meeting or participate from a computer are provided on the agenda on the city's website at www.cityofvacaville.com. Callers who wish to comment can press *9 to get into the speaking queue. Computer users can click the raise hand button within their Zoom controls to request to speak. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Commissioner Leonard.
Present.
Commissioner Lujan.
Here.
Commissioner Rucker.
I'm here.
Commissioner Thompson.
I am present.
Commissioner Vasquez.
Here.
Chair McMahon.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, Director Walker would like to make a statement.
Good evening, everyone. As you noticed on the agenda and tonight's meeting, we are down a commissioner. Commissioner Ramos' seat on the commission has been vacated. The vacancy will be filled by a new appointment by the mayor. I'll share how the position will be filled under the director comment portion of tonight's agenda.
Thank you, Director Walker. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Vasquez, would you do the honors of leading the Pledge of Allegiance tonight?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Agenda item 3, approval of the agenda. Are there any changes or additions to the agenda? Seeing none, I will take a motion for approval of the agenda.
This is Commissioner Thompson. I move approval.
Second?
I will second. This is Commissioner Rucker.
Okay, I have Thompson and Rucker. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Leonard.
Aye.
Commissioner Lujan.
Aye.
Commissioner Rucker.
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson.
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez.
Yes.
And Chair McMahon.
Yes. Agenda item number 4, approval of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes for the meeting of August 5th, 2020?
Chair McMahon, this is Director Walker. I do have some corrections to the minutes. The first item being item 8B. It is the specific plan of Parks and Recreation Facilities. It is bullet number 3. Second sentence should read, as part of the California Environmental Quality Act, if the proposed development doesn't have a park in their subdivision, a Quimby ordinance would require. Either land has to be dedicated or an in lieu fee has to be paid that is specific to the value of the land that the residents would require. Another correction, item 10, under reports of park planner, bullet number 1, first sentence, Nasha Mesto Park in Brighton Landing is complete and currently in the plant establishment period. Staff hope it will be ready for use in November. Those are the 2 corrections that I have, Chair McMahon.
Very good. Thank you very much, ma'am. At this time, can I have a motion for the, amended minutes for the meeting of August 5th, 2020?
This is Commissioner Leonard. I move to approve the amended minutes.
And a second?
This is Commissioner Thompson. I second.
I have Leonard and Thompson. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Leonard.
Aye.
Commissioner Lujan.
Aye.
Commissioner Rucker.
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson.
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez.
Yes.
Chair McMahon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 5 is correspondence. Seeing none tonight, we'll move to item number 6, presentations. Tonight we have gymnastics and early childhood enrichment presented by Recreation Coordinator Penny Hernandez.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you perfectly, Penny. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us tonight. We'll get started with our gymnastics program. So our gymnastics program began in a small storefront located on Main Street, blossoming into a facility located on Bella Vista Drive. That was for a short time before making our permanent home at 551 Davis Street. Our facility is a pod located within the ice sports, also known as the skate ice rink. This facility has been our home for the last 20 plus years, and between our morning classes, open gyms, afternoon, evening classes, along with birthday parties, our facility in normal times is open 7 days a week. Our programs do strive to provide a safe, comprehensive, constructive, and fun environment to teach its students the sports of gymnastics. We do provide an atmosphere in which children will learn the proper technique and skills in order to progress through the various levels of the sport safely. Our coaches are USAG safety certified, and many have also certified in multiple levels of accredited USGA trainings, as well as first aid and CPR certified. Next. So for our recreation programs, which is really the backbone of our gymnastics program, we have 3 levels: gymnastics series, which are classes designed for children 1 to 3 with a parent guardian participation. And these focus mainly on creative movement while increasing fine and gross motor skills. Our second is our preschool series, and this is for ages 3 to 6. Again, these classes are progressive and they focus on the basic building blocks of gymnastics while also preparing for more advanced classes. Our third is our school age series for ages 6 to 17. And this series of classes are also progressive and help to develop physical fitness and self-confidence. Next. Our pre-team and team, these both series cover ages from age 5 to 12. Pre-team is designed for students interested in and capable of working towards competitive gymnastics. These classes represent the Junior Olympic levels 1 through 3. And then our girls team is a series of classes which covers ages 5 to 15. The members learn basic routines and skills required to compete in the USA Gymnastics Junior Olympic program. We also offer semi-private and private lessons are available for children that learn better in a one-on-one class setting. Next. For fun, these classes cover ages 3 to 17. We offer a variety of classes that are heavily recreation-based and focus on getting some energy out, as well as classes that focus on very specific skills. Some of those include our homeschool series, parkour, Ninja 101, tumbling, gymnastics and hip hop, cheer for beginning and advanced. And 2 of our special event programs consist of pizza and pajama night and a monster mash, which obviously is Halloween oriented. And again, these are all prior pandemic. These are from last fall, last winter. Next. For our summer camps and holiday camps, these particular photos were from this 2020 summer session, 9 weeks of childcare camp that we were able to offer from 6:30 to 6. It's a one-of-a-kind experience because we're filled in a large air-conditioned facility. Our camps include daily gymnastics instruction for every skill level, in-house movie days, games, crafts, and open gym time. In pre-pandemic, we also include field trips to the park and to the Walter Graham Pool. The childcare is offered from 6:30 to 6 and/or an option of 9 to 4. Again, these photos are from our summer essential childcare camp. 10 children in a covert, social distancing, masks worn for this age group, personal supplies provided to each and every camper, and we had an additional floater to assist with additional sanitizing and disinfecting. Next. Our open gyms are very popular. They're provided for all ages to play or exercise in a fun and safe gymnastics environment. This past winter, we did restructure a few of our previous programs, which was our family fun night. We restructured it to be just gymnastics open gym for all ages welcome. We offered a new toddler time twice a week, 12 to noon, a new junior open gym, ages 9 to 12, and then we have our adult open gym for ages 15 plus. Next. So for our birthday parties, our facility hosts birthday celebrations, play group activities, and sports parties. A party at Vacaville Gymnastics includes activities for all ages. We offer a spring floor, a tumble track, bars, balance beam, in-ground foam pit, and much more. All of our parties are 2 hours in length, and we have 4 different levels, from our bronze package, which is your basic package, up to our platinum. We also partner with Mary's Pizza Shack and Safeway for our food and cupcakes. Next. Vacaville Gymnastics is heavily involved in many community events. Every year, the Vacaville Gymnastics program participates in the annual Fiesta Days Parade, strengthening community image for the department, program, and participants. In past years, we've had as many as 70 participants gracefully flip and tumble down Main Street, performing various gymnastics and dance routines for citizens to enjoy. This is our annual hometown event, and it's a highlight and increases cultural unity for all involved. Kids Fest, Bunnies and Bonnets, and Recreation Expo are additional events the gymnasts have participated in. Next. Vacaville Gymnastics has had many years of community partnership with the Vacaville Festival of Trees, which is their premier fundraiser for Opportunity House. The festival kicks off with a gala dinner the Monday after Thanksgiving, magically transforms the Vacaville Recreation Center into a glowing gallery filled with exclusively decorated Christmas trees. Our gymnastics staff work hard to remove our equipment to help prepare our center for their special event. Next. So some of our challenges, the first one is basically rebuilding. We've been closed for almost 7 months with the exception of our summer camps, of our summer childcare camps. So just getting our clientele back into the gym, I feel is going to be quite a task. Our staffing, many of our employees have had to move on to other jobs just because they need income. And we also have challenges with our younger employees as far as their school schedules. So availability conflicts with a lot of their online classes now. And prior to that, it was the start date or start time of school. They had changed it to a later time, so it extended later in the afternoon, which forced us to kind of re-establish our class start times in the afternoon. For competition, there are other private gyms in the area that have had some reopening to degrees, so that's kind of a challenge for us right now. And then COVID, of course, we're basically on pause until reopening is allowed, which I think is basically in stage 4. So we're looking at a ways to go. However, we do have some proposals in the works for some additional afternoon possible childcare, as well as some outdoor talk classes and maybe basic skill development for that class or for those classes. Next, is there any questions?
Thank you very much for that, Penny. We absolutely appreciate everything you do and getting our kids back out there, our youth active and keeping them safe. Thank you so much for that. Are there any commissioner comments or questions for Penny?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Rucker.
Okay.
Penny, thank you so much. Appreciate it. More just a comment. The fact that I've been over to the gymnastics center a number of times for kids' birthday parties. So I've got 2 small kids myself, ages 4 and 1, and your staff always does just a really incredible job with the setup and just with the kids. And you know, the kids that are around can be extremely crazy, and the staff has always been phenomenal. So just want to give that encouragement. I know, I heard some of the challenges that you talked about, and especially with COVID. I mean, there are only so many things that we can do about that, but hopefully just some encouragement can assist with that, and anything we can do as a team to really help with that, we're totally here for you.
Well, thank you for that. We greatly appreciate that. Appreciated. And thanks for the comments. I'll share them.
Yeah, please do. Thank you.
I will. Thank you. Okay. Any other
commissioner comments?
Okay, so we should go ahead and move on to the early childhood enrichment.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Penny. We're ready for the early childhood enrichment.
Okay. All right. So a little history again on the Children's Corner Preschool. This program has actually been educating Vacaville's young children for 50 years now. We were scheduled to celebrate our 50th year anniversary this past summer, but again, due to COVID, this event had to be canceled. Our program supports the social, emotional, and physical development of each child. We believe a hands-on approach to learning promotes exploration, creativity, and discovery. Our teachers and staff are sensitive to individual differences and developmental stages of all children. Our program provides a well-rounded preschool experience and fosters a child's natural curiosity for learning. Our curriculum is planned around monthly themes and emphasizes the importance of learning through play and self-discovery. Next. So again, this slide shows 2 of our programs, again, pre-COVID. Our programs provide a natural progression to help the children navigate through their beginning educational experiences. The child is introduced into a classroom setting where self-help, self-esteem, socialization, cooperation skills, and academic concepts are introduced through art, music, stories, circle time, indoor and outdoor play. And our first step in that program is Busy Bees, This interactive experience for parents and children ages 10 months to 3.5 combines parental support and quality time for the toddler age group. Our Mommy's Time Out program is a drop-off program. Children do not need to be potty trained. The parents are not required to participate. And this is a nurturing environment in which socialization skills, independence, and fine and gross motor skills are learned through imaginative play. And then again, this picture for the 3 and 4-year-old is prior to COVID. 3 and 4-year-old preschool program prepares the children for a lifelong love of learning. The children are encouraged to explore and engage with their peers through a variety of activities in a safe and secure classroom environment. Next. In strengthening community image and sense of place, the Early Childhood Enrichment Program offered 9 weeks of Pee Wee Camp during this past summer. Our campers played active games, participated in themed arts and crafts, and learned to socialize with other children. Let's see. So some of the camp themes for this past summer were Character Party, Space Invaders, Pirates and Princesses, and our most popular camp is Digging for Dinosaurs. Over the past several years, it's been such a popular camp that we offered it twice this summer. So it was very successful. We offered a President's Break Camp as well, and also a Spring Break Camp, which was canceled due to COVID. And again, these photos here are prior to the pandemic. Next. So some of our new programs we had already planned and was able to successfully offer 2 4-week sessions for summer preschool this year. The program was designed to introduce the child to preschool in a fun and social atmosphere. We were able to combine our 3s and 4s, and they enjoyed play-based class designs to provide them with experiences in a structured environment. They had a variety of hands-on activities again, to include art, storytelling, circle time, and music. In addition to the fun, they were built upon their social and listening skills through various activities. Some of our past fall and winter one-day fun shops included one-day workshops with creative themes, such as Little Scientist, Art in the Park. These are all one-day short workshops. They allow for a nurturing environment in which, again, their socialization skills, independence, fine and gross motor skills, and language development are learned through imaginative play. Last fall, we offered a pajama party, which was a night of fun, afternoon actually, for the 4 to 6 year old in their pajamas for their best PJ party ever. Brought their favorite blanket and stuffed friend, enjoyed their own homemade pizza, lemonade, and then participated in fall crafts games and much more fun. Next. Multi-generational programs from last fall. We had the Halloween loot bag, which was coexisted with a grandparent and or parent, made a collection bag that they could keep and reuse every year. And gingerbread house party was a delightful, fun-filled treat where they created imaginations, built their own take-home gingerbread house. We supplied all of the needed parts for the whole kit, I guess you would call it. So it was a great time. Cookies and cocoa were included. And then another event was the North Pole Adventure. It was a craft making project for families and friends, and they had cocoa, letter to Santa, and then created fun-filled activities. And then our last one was family painting time in the park. It was a morning spent in Payton Park with staff, walking them through the steps of creating their own masterpieces. Next. So some of our challenges we're experiencing now, facilities. So for COVID, for this coming school year, which we actually started yesterday with our 3s and today with our 4s, our sites have all been relocated to the Three Oaks Community Center and the Payton Recreation Center. Preschool shares the facilities with TGIF program in the various school locations. With the uncertainty of the future school district scheduling and the distance learning and hybrid classes, the decision to relocate our programs was made to accommodate the needs of TGIF. So we currently have 3 classes located at Three Oaks and 2 at the Payton site. Let's see, competition. We obviously compete with other preschools here in the city of Vacaville. We do feel we offer quality and experienced staff, so we are able to keep our fees at a reasonable rate and keep our programs affordable for our community. And then COVID-19, with our normal turned upside down, our participant numbers are greatly reduced in our classrooms. We are able to abide by all of the protocols set in place. Our self-assessment and temperatures, our 6-foot social distancing, our limited number of 10 children per COVID, and personal supplies make for a challenging environment. The hand washing, signing in and out is done outside. The additional sanitizing, disinfecting policies are all in place for the high touch areas. We have an additional floater again who helps with making sure that all of the cleaning and sanitizing of the common place areas is taken care of. Next. I just wanted to include, this is yesterday, our first day of class for our 3-year-olds. We currently have 13 registered in two separate classes. And as you can see, we are abiding by the social distancing with their desks and their circle time. Next. 4-year-olds, this was today. They started class today. 2 young ladies were making their crafts. We have a total of 35 children registered in 4s, and that's in a breakdown in 5 different classes. Fun days are starting today. Any questions?
Thank you very much for that, Penny. We appreciate everything you do, and it's nice to see some young smiling faces in a classroom. Thank you for all you do, and thank you to the staff for making all of that happen and keeping all of those smiling faces safe. So we appreciate it very much. Are there any commissioner comments at this time? It looks like Commissioner Leonard.
Thank you. Penny, early learning and enrichment is so vital, as we all know, to helping kids grow and thrive socially and academically. So it's not only important work at all times, but families really need the support for childcare right now. So the fact that your team has been able to follow all the guidance around cohorting and social distancing with small children just really demonstrates a strong commitment to put kids and families first. It's hard to do, and I just applaud your teams for all the work that they've put into it, because it's important work and it's much needed work. So thank you to you and your team.
Thank you. Thanks. We appreciate it. Thank you. I will share.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Leonard. And Commissioner Vasquez.
Hi, Penny. Thank you for this presentation. You had mentioned, it sounds like you all are having to reduce class sizes, but just wondering, are actual registrations down? And if not, how are you all prioritizing who actually gets registered and placed into a classroom if they absolutely need it?
Well, we normally have a class size of 18. Up until just a few days ago, we've been working on the maximum of 10. And again, we have 6 sites normally that, we offer the program at. And as I said, we have, to be honest with you, we did priority registration back in May, and our classes were full. Those were for the previous 3-year-olds going into the 4s. We opened registration in June to the public. The classes stayed pretty consistent registration. About 2.5 weeks ago, it kind of started. I don't know if the reality hit that, hey, it's going to be September and, we're scheduled to start school. Our registration dropped quite a bit. It was three refunds a day, 1 registration, kind of throughout the week. We do have 3 full classes at 10, so that's encouraging and exciting. We did lose a few more this week, so we have plenty of space to fill. And quite honestly, I think our word of mouth is our best marketing tool. We have already had 2 phone calls today, asking about the program and can they still get in, and, all of the particular questions and whatnot. So I have a good feeling. I was a little worried. I was a lot worried, but just being in the classroom today and yesterday, seeing the kids, talking to the parents, they're so worried about their children with isolation and not seeing friends and not being, able to be around just other people besides their immediate household. So I think it's going to be fine. And we had the summer to try everything out and make it all work and perfect, everything we needed to do. And the kids were great. They listened well. They sat in their chairs. They just did everything that we needed them to do. And so we're real excited and really feel really blessed that we're able to provide this. Did I answer your question?
Yes,
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Are there any other commissioner comments for Penny? Seeing none. Penny, thank you so much. We appreciate everything you do. Please ensure that you relay that to the staff for us. We appreciate it, and stay safe, please.
We will. Thank you. And you do the same.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to agenda item number 7 is business from the floor. This is the time to address the commission with issues that are not on the agenda that are within the commission's subject matter jurisdiction. Maximum 3 minutes per speaker or group spokesperson, excuse me. Madam Secretary, do we have any callers on the line?
Yes, I have Desiree Ramos on the line. I will unmute you now. Hello, Desiree.
Sorry, here I am. Thank you. Good evening, Chair, Commissioners, Director Walker, and City staff. This is Desiree Ramos. I'm disheartened to be addressing you from this side of the dais this evening. I have been commission, not for indiscretions, violations of the Brown Act, or for bias, but because during these unprecedented times, former Commissioner Christina Palmer chose to question my residency and eligibility. In March, my husband and I chose to shelter in place at our vacation home in Mendocino. A confluence of events, including downsizing, remote work availability, the pandemic, and now the fires, led us to stay up north for the time being. While our primary residence on Vine Street is on the market, we have loaned it to a local family who lost their home in the fire. Our future, whether in Vacaville or elsewhere, is an unknown. Because of this, I have been removed from this panel. I've lived in Vacaville for more than 20 years. I raised my children here, met and married my husband here, and have been a dedicated advocate for this community. I have volunteered for countless events, sat on a number of boards, managed your performing arts theater, and finally, in my proudest moment, was selected to this commission. My goal in becoming a commissioner was to champion our parks and recreation programs, to support the efforts of Director Walker and the council, to act as the voice of the community, to remain objective and attempt to balance the needs of all our residents. I understood that my purpose was never to oversee the daily operations of the Parks and Recreation Department, because I'm not a trained Parks and Rec professional with the education and years of experience like Director Walker and the members of her department. I am a citizen representing the voices of our community. Sadly, the last several years, beginning with former Commissioner Palmer and continuing with Commissioners Vasquez and Thompson, have given us a contentious, petty, biased commission. When I joined the commission, my daughter worked for a contractor who managed the Performing Arts Theater. I had no definitive conflict, but I recognized that I might have the perception of bias, and therefore I committed to recusing myself from any votes pertaining to the theater in order to protect the integrity of the process. Former Commissioner Palmer, Commissioners Vasquez, and Thompson have no such self-awareness and continue to demonstrate strong personal bias in favor of softball and baseball. In the short period that they have been impaneled, these commissioners have repeatedly used this forum to push their personal agenda to achieve their own objectives. In our last session alone, these commissioners questioned Fire Chief Concepcion about his plan to prevent the illegal use of our fields during the pandemic by installing traffic barricades on the mound. Commissioner Vasquez questioned his commitment to the safety of our community because his method of preventing the illegal use of our ball fields might injure players who are using the field illegally. The audacity of questioning his commitment to safety was staggering. This was not an objective consideration of the situation. This was not support. I'm disappointed in the direction the commission has taken, and even more disappointed that while the city grapples with dueling emergencies, that members of this commission felt it was important to use valuable time, talent, and treasury to debate my legitimacy rather than focus on the real issues of managing resources, protecting our citizens, and building a positive future for Vacaville. In closing, I ask the commission to look inward and investigate your own objectivity and biases. And I beg Mayor Rowlett to appoint a replacement that will bring balance back to the process. Thank you and good night.
Desiree, thank you very much. Your commitment and your service to this community is second to none, and it is recognized by many here in the community, and we appreciate that, ma'am, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for your service to Vacaville and the commission.
Thank you, Chair.
Madam Secretary, are there other callers on the line, ma'am?
I have no hands, Chair.
Thank you very much. Moving on to agenda item 8. And looking at business, I see no business this evening. Moving to agenda item 9, committee reports. Seeing none, we'll move to agenda item 10. And that is reports of Park Planner Hugh Hesterman. You're up, sir.
Good evening, Chair McMahon and Commission. I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. I have a relatively short report this evening. And I apologize in advance for my voice, which is a little smoke damaged, I'm afraid. First of all, I wanted to let the commission know that the Park and Rec Master Plan, we have received a admin draft from our consultant, MIG, for the first 5 chapters, and staff is looking over that to see if that's, how well it's actually going to suit us. It looks fairly complete, and so far, I'd say we're probably about halfway done as a group with our review of that document. There's much more to come yet. Also, I want to let you know that the master plan for the Centennial Park, also done by our consultant, the same consultant, MIG, was received, I think it was 2 or 3 months ago, and we've returned an extensive set of comments to them on that specific master plan. And as the commission hopefully will remember, these 2 documents are inextricably combined due to the fact that many of the unmet needs could possibly be met at Centennial Park, and Centennial Park, due its large size and largely undeveloped nature, might be able to help supply some of those facilities that otherwise we wouldn't have the land or the space for. I would now like to move on to a quick report on the status of some of the parks. And Tracy, if you would please bring up the map. Thank you. This is the future park exhibit that is found in our general plan. And in the northeast corner, as you can see, the number 1 there refers to Corderos Park, which has already been completed. And the number 4, just immediately above it, refers to the next neighborhood park that will be serving North Village Area Plan 2. The developer is currently in the process of trying to determine where the exact location of that should be. It's kind of shown as a half circle, just as a general placeholder, but it won't. It probably will be more rectilinear in shape when we're done. Tracy, if you would scan down to off to the west there by North Orchard, you'll see park number 2. That is the Dreamers Park, located in the Farmstead subdivision. And if you've driven up North Orchard or on Fruitvale recently, you'll see that the trees have all been selected and pruned, and there's actually 4 homes that are under construction in that subdivision now. And the masonry wall is being erected along North Orchard. Staff is currently fine-tuning a park construction agreement with the developer for the actual to actually complete the construction of that, which won't happen until near the end of the construction of the homes. And the purpose for that is just simply a cash flow situation in order to have enough of the park impact fees collected at that point in time. Now, Tracy, if you would please move over to the east side of the city and maybe scan down to the south a little bit. At the very bottom of your screen, you'll see the number 3, which is Magnolia Park, phase 2. And we've had some initial conversations with the developer there to find out if they would like to build that as a turnkey park. There's some advantages to both parties by them doing that, but it is not required in their agreement. So I will keep you apprised on the status of that. And then, if Tracy, if you would move over to your cursor over to the number 6, that's the Nacho Mesto Park in Brighton Landing, which is actually construction is largely complete on that park. And as noted in the minutes, it's currently in a plant establishment period, which basically gives the contractor some time to ensure that all the plants, the turf, the trees, the shrubs, everything is established thoroughly and it's going to live before the city takes ownership. We think that that park may open up for the public either late October or November if all goes well. And then I wanted to report on the status of some parks in the Roberts Ranch subdivision. And this was a subdivision that was approved after the general plan was adopted. So I direct your attention to a rectilinear shape that's just below Nascimesto Park and above Fry Road, where Tracy has outlined that in the light blue. That is largely the area where Roberts Ranch subdivision has been planned. And I have another slide that Tracy will bring up that shows the distribution of parks in the Roberts Ranch subdivision. The little spots of green, hopefully you can see them well enough to recognize them as roughly half-acre parks that the developer refers to as stroller parks. Each one is, like I said, roughly a half-acre in size. I think the largest might be 3/4 of an acre. Can't quite read the numbers there on your screen. But they're scattered throughout the subdivision, and the idea is that they will be within a very short strolling distance for each person to go to. They will have very minor amenities, like a very small piece of play equipment or a picnic area or something like that. And as a result of that, we are not counting them in the park acres that the developer would have to be providing. But they are, some people refer to them as pocket parks or other smaller types of parks, and they seem to be popular with some of the developers. This particular developer is funding these entirely by himself at no cost to the city, and their maintenance will be taken care of through the local lighting and landscaping district. Also, I should just point out that the stroller park that's on the bottom right, and Tracy, if you can scroll up just a little bit to show that a little better. No, I'm sorry, scroll down. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, that is actually referred to as the Butterfly Park. That's not an official name, but it's going to be a theme within that park. And we're currently reviewing the plans for that park right now. So we have a pretty good idea what that should be looking like. That will be built along with Village A and is part of the first subdivision to be constructed in Roberts Ranch. Also, along with that stroller park, the Butterfly Park, phase 1 of the community park, which is immediately to the south and east of where the Butterfly Park is, will be the dog park portion of Roberts Ranch. And that's in kind of the bottom tail of that large green swath you see on the right-hand side of your screen. And that also will be built as part of phase 1. And that will be funded through impact fees. Plus, also the developer has self-taxed himself, if that's the correct term, by adding a $1,000 additional fee for every home that he builds. And that goes directly into the development of the parks in his subdivision. And that pretty much sums up my report for this evening. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Thank you very much for that presentation. It looks like Roberts Ranch is going to have a lot of nice parks in it. It looks like a fun place to visit. Are there any commissioner comments for Hugh Hesterman tonight?
Chair McMahon, this is Commissioner Lujan. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't find my raise the hand button. But I was wondering for you, Hugh, what is the I heard the term turnkey park. What does that mean?
Yeah, sure. That's a very good question. I'm sorry I didn't explain that. Turnkey basically would be a park that we walk up to and accept the key and turn it, and away we go. I would say there's some advantages to the city, perhaps some relatively minor savings in cost, but the biggest saving or the biggest advantage to the city, if the developer were to build the park and hand it over to the city, as opposed to the city having to build the park itself through our own contracting, is in timing. And that what it does is it basically puts the burden of collecting the impact fees, not necessarily collecting, but holding the impact fees on the developer so they can build the park much earlier than the city would otherwise be able to. So we refer to it as a turnkey park, just like as if you were to go buy a new car, you're handed the keys and away you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Are there any other commissioner comments for Hugh Hesterman? Seeing none, Hugh, thank you very much. Take care of yourself, sir.
Thank you, Chair McMahon.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 11, reports of Recreation Manager Melody Ocampo. You're up, ma'am.
Hi, can everyone hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Well, as I said, good evening. And Tracy, if you could pull up our little slides here. Nothing too fancy. I just have a couple pictures to go along with my report out here. I wanted to showcase that as we are moving forward, you all are aware of the childcare and some of the programs we've been offering. And so we've just kind of ramped up some of our promotions lately. So I have some fun visuals to go along with that. And that includes bringing back some in-person music classes. As you can see, we're still offering the virtual option, but we do have a few things that are going to be opening up. We're actually setting it up outdoor on one of the patios at the Three Oaks Community Center. So that's going to be really fun, starting around September 9th, so next Wednesday. And then next up, we've got some more aquatics programs coming back. Some swim lessons, finally. These are ones that people have been wanting to have, and we have been dying to offer. So we've got those, as well as a completely new program that we were hoping to showcase starting back in June. And as you all know, that didn't happen, but that's our new aquaboard fitness. So yoga on water. It should be really fun. And we've found great ways to be able to do these with good social distancing and sanitation. So next up. We've got our Pet Pro Hero First Aid and CPR. This is a virtual class, but just a fun one that I wanted to highlight because, you know, you can't have cuter dummies than those little stuffed animals right there. And it's a great program if you need to know how to help your pet in an emergency situation. Next. We've got an outdoor fitness program for our therapeutic recreation folks. This is called the Walk and Roll. So it's a once a week meeting for 60 minutes where participants will get to track steps and set goals. And they will get to do a little cool down and just kind of ramp up. It's a nice and fun outdoor, socially distanced, but still social activity for folks. And then my next slide, Tracy, I know Penny spoke and shared about preschool, but I just couldn't help sharing that we did start this week, and that's a picture from our classroom. Every student has their own little table and set of materials so that they can be safe and still get to enjoy each other's company. As you can kind of see, those two girls in the background are still being able to socialize. And I just love this little one's dress that she has on here. Just because it's preschool doesn't mean you can't get fancy. And then we've got our TGIF program is our next slide here. This is from our Cooper site. As you can see, we've got a little highlight on our first day of school. Unfortunately, that was interrupted. As you all know, our community experienced and was heavily impacted by the Hennessy and LNU fires. And I'm just going to transition right into my next item, which is the fact that we, as part of the city's emergency response, the Park and Rec Department opened up shelters in collaboration with the Red Cross, and did that at 3 of our community center sites. So at the McBride Center, the Lattice Community Center, and the, oh my gosh, I was about to say 3 Oaks, and that wasn't one of the sites, and I'm having a complete blank out moment here. I was working all of them too many late nights.
Melly, I believe it was the skate center, correct?
Thank you. I was focused on the community centers. Yes, the rec center. Yes. I was there real early one morning. Thank you for helping me out there. So yes, we opened those up and we were happy to be able to work through the night. In many cases, our staff responded starting on Tuesday, August 18th at about 2 in the morning, reporting out even earlier, I believe, at the McBride Center, and just getting people in the doors, getting their pets in there, making sure they had food and water and a place to sleep if they could. The rec center was actually the most popular spot in terms of sleeping, or what I would consider not popular. It actually had not a ton of folks at that center, but they should have because it's the most comfortable. So note that. Hopefully we never have another crisis like that, but if we do, definitely choose the rec center because they have all those lovely mats that you saw in Penny's picture. So it's a place you could actually try and get some rest. And then just a nice, I wanted to showcase that the students here, going back to TGIF, they wanted to share a thank you for the service, for the first responders, for helping our community out. Our community just amazed me, went above and beyond in terms of their response. So many people volunteering. The shelters were overwhelmed with donations from community members, and people just really had everything that they could possibly need and then some during this crisis. And I was really amazed and taken back by that. So very impressed. And then the last item on my list, I just wanted to share with you all that the business use of outdoor space has gone into full effect. We have 2 agreements that we are in the process of executing, and then a couple more that are in the process of applying. And any business out there that is looking for information, the application for the program is available on the city website under the business tab under Vacaville Al Fresco. And that is it for me tonight. Thank you all.
Melody, thank you very much. And just talking about the fires, our town unfortunately just experienced one of the worst fires in California history. It's up in the top 5. And I'm extremely proud of this department, the Parks and Rec department. They always go above and beyond to serve this city in whatever capacity that is. And it was much appreciated. I got to visit some of those sites, and you guys made them feel at home, and we made the best of a absolutely tragic situation. And we absolutely appreciate everything you do and the staff during that time in Vacaville history. Are there any commissioner comments for Melody Ocampo? Commissioner Lujan.
Yes, thank you, Melanie. And I just want to also just echo those comments from the chair about the quick turnaround and just trying to be there to support the community and all those who were impacted and had to evacuate. So there was just a lot of action, and I know there was a lot of hours put into it to try and make that happen. So thanks to the staff for those efforts. I know that with COVID-19, it's just not stopping, but you guys were able to pull through for this event as well. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Lujan. Any other commissioner comments for our recreation manager, Melody Ocampo? Seeing none, Melody, thank you. Have a great evening, ma'am.
You too.
Thank you. Agenda item number 12 is reports of the director, Carrie Walker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I was going to share with the commission on how the vacancy will be filled. So usually the Parks and Recreation Commission applications are accepted continuously all year. For the appointments that are made on a regular basis due to terms ending, the mayor reviews applications and may conduct interviews and makes the commissioner appointment typically in March. At the time of the regular appointments, applicants that are not appointed are told that the city will keep their application on file for 1 year. So the applications currently on file with the city may be considered for appointment to the vacancy. Also, the vacancy will be posted for 10 days to allow for applications to be filed. It's my hope that the mayor can make an appointment at the September 22nd council meeting, but since there's a number of steps which need to be taken prior to the appointment, I cannot say for certain the vacancy will be filled before the October meeting, but that's the plan. I know we've talked a bit about fires and evacuation centers, and I just want to echo some of the sentiment and just share how proud I am of the staff. Never before have we opened 3 evacuation centers at the same time, and with the challenges of COVID, we needed to do that. And it truly was all hands on deck opening those 3 facilities. One of those facilities, we did have Red Cross there. Another, we had a couple of public health nurses from the county, and then the third was run completely by staff. So staff were just troopers. The staff did some shifts as well in the EOC. So I just want to say thank you to all of the staff, and I'm very proud of how everyone pulled together and got through that. Next thing I want to share with the commission is to let you know that we are going to be pursuing some Prop 68 revitalization grant funds. We will be focusing The revitalization improvements will be at Trower Park is what we're going to focus on. One of the key criteria for this grant is the community engagement piece. So we're going to actually jump into that right away, starting as soon as this weekend. And so if anyone is interested in volunteering or assisting with some of that community engagement, management analyst Sakura Witsi and recreation manager Melody Ocampo will be taking the lead with that community engagement piece of this. And please, by all means, you'll see their contact information is on the screen. Give them a call, shoot them an email if you're interested in volunteering and being part of the community engagement piece of this. And that's all that I have this evening.
Great, thank you very much. We are now at item number 13, reports of the commission.
So it's back to me. This is Director Walker. At the August 5th, 2020 Commission meeting, Chair McMahon had made appointments to the Youth Sports Advisory Team and the Arts Advisory Committee. At that meeting, there were some questions regarding the process used for appointments made by the chair. I've consulted with the City Attorney's Office, and there's no specific legal authority, municipal code section, procedural requirement, and Rosenberg Rules of Order, or city procedural policy or guideline that addresses the process of appointments of commissioners to committees. Past practice of the commission for committee appointments has varied. More recently, the chair has made the appointments to the committees. In evaluating the process and considering a consistent practice that may be followed by the commission, I look to the Vacaville Municipal Code and the practice prescribed for appointments to committees made by the mayor. The Municipal Code, section 2.40.200, indicates from time to time the mayor may, subject to the approval of council, appoint such committees of councilmen, private citizens, or both as he deems desirable and necessary to assist the city council in its work. As the director, I have determined until which time the Parks and Recreation Commission has its own established policies and procedures and or specific directives prescribed by law or the council, the commission will model its process after the process set forth in the municipal code for the city council. In reviewing the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting from August 5th, I determined that the commission had not approved the appointments by vote, and based on that, I have brought this matter back on tonight's agenda. The process for tonight will be that Chair McMahon will make the appointment and the commission will vote to determine approval of the appointment. Nominations, motions, and seconds customarily utilized when electing the chair and vice chair are not required for the committee appointment process. The chair will make the recommended appointment and the commission will vote on whether or not to ratify the chair's appointment decision. Currently, staff is presenting City Council with policies and procedures for the conduct of City Council business. I'm working with the city manager to determine if the same policies and procedures will apply to the Parks and Recreation Commission or if we establish separate policies and procedures for the city commissions. With that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Chair McMahon.
Thank you very much for that, Director Walker. I would also like to say, kindly remind everyone why we're here, and that's to serve Vacaville and the community and its citizens as a whole. We all serve on this commission to provide the greater good of Vacaville. As the chair, it is my goal to keep us all moving forward, giving our best effort to serve Vacaville. I would ask that we remain objective and keep broad perspective, be innovative and inclusive. Item Agenda 13A, appointment to the Youth Sports Advisory Team Commission. In keeping the best practice, I will always do my best to place commissioners on committees that they have an interest on serving on. In the best interest of the commission and moving forward, I have spoke with Commissioner Leonard, and she has graciously offered to serve elsewhere on the commission. Tonight, I would like to appoint Commissioner Thompson. He has expressed interest in serving on the YSAC committee. He brings a vast amount of knowledge to our youth sports leagues, and I believe he would be an asset to the YSAC committee. I'd like to appoint Commissioner Thompson to YSAC at this point. Madam Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Leonard?
Aye.
Commissioner Lujan?
Aye.
Commissioner Rucker?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez,
Yes.
and Chair McMahon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 13B, appointment to the Arts Advisory Committee. Tonight, I'd like to stick with our original appointment of Commissioner Vasquez. She has an appreciation for the arts within our community, and I'd like to appoint Commissioner Vasquez, to the Arts Advisory Committee. Madam Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Leonard,
Aye.
Commissioner Lujan,
Aye.
Commissioner Rucker,
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez,
Yes.
Chair McMahon.
Yes. Item 13C, nomination and selection of vice chair. I do firmly believe that at some point during a commissioner's tenure, while serving on this commission, they should have the opportunity to serve as the vice chair or the chair. Collectively, I feel very strong that it is up to each of us to leave the commission better than when we started. Tonight, I would like to nominate Commissioner Ryan Rucker. He has honorably served on this commission for nearly 4 years. His dedication and commitment to improving our parks, our services, and our facilities has been done honorably, and he absolutely would make a great vice chair. At this point, I would like to nominate Commissioner Rucker as vice chair, and I'm looking for, that's my motion. And I'm looking for a second, please.
This is Commissioner Leonard. I value his experience, and as a new commissioner, I think we just don't know what we don't know as new commissioners. So I'd like to second Ryan Rucker as vice chair.
Thank you very much. I have a motion by McMahon and a second by Leonard. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Leonard,
Aye.
Commissioner Lujan,
Aye.
Commissioner Rucker,
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez,
Yes.
Chair McMahon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Rucker. We look forward to working with you in your new capacity on the commission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and thank you all. It's an honor to work with all of you and just be on this commission with you all, so thank you.
Okay, we are at the point of the evening where I am looking for commissioner comments to end our meeting. And I will start with Commissioner Leonard.
No comments. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Lujan?
No comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Thompson?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of the Parks and Recreation staff and reiterate some of the comments that have been made earlier this evening. I think given the challenges with COVID and then on top of that, the LNU fire, the staff have really rallied together in multiple programs and getting the TGIF and early enrichment programs and school programs off the ground, and especially with many people being evacuated and creating shelters. I think that's very impressive. They've done an absolutely outstanding and impressive job. So I want to thank the entire Parks and Recreation staff for all of their hard work in the last couple of weeks. So I know it's been pretty challenging and very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Thompson. Commissioner Vasquez?
Hi, thank you, Chair McMahon. I apologize. I had my hand up during reports of director. I actually had a question for Director Walker about, there was an item on the City Council agenda last week, and I was just wondering if we could maybe potentially discuss at a future meeting supplemental grants and how that fits into the overall Parks and Rec budget. I think that was a consent on the consent calendar, and so it looks like it's a grant of almost 180,000, and just how that fits into the overall budget. What happens to those funds? How is allocation determined in terms of project? And is that ever brought to the commission for review? So I just had a couple of questions about that supplemental grants funding. So But yeah, definitely want to echo thank you all for all of your support of the city of Vacaville Parks and Rec. I heard during actually city council meeting that you all were on the ground running, helping with the evac center. So I really appreciate all that you all were doing over those couple of days. Myself and my family were evacuated, so it was hard to keep up what was going on beyond the family unit, but and multiple family members being evacuated. But just want to appreciate all that you all did over those few days, actually weeks. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Vasquez. I do apologize. I did not see your hand up. So your comments and questions are noted. Thank you very much, ma'am. Vice Chair
Thank
Rucker.
you.
Yeah, nothing to report. Just again, thank you all very much. Commissioner Thompson, Vasquez, I think hit it head on with some of their sentiments, especially regarding the LME fire. I think the staff is incredible. Just seeing what all of you were doing through social media, I feel like I'm always proud to be a part of this commission, but especially over just the past couple of weeks. So I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Vice Chair Rucker. In closing tonight, I would like to address our meeting time. I know in the past year we addressed it, and I think it's important for keeping continuity with our council as well as our planning commission. They both start their meetings at 6 p.m. I would like to discuss this and perhaps agendize this for the October meeting of starting our meetings at 6 p.m. Given the past few meetings have been rather lengthy and ending late into the evening, I feel that a 6 p.m. start time might benefit all of us a little better. So if we can look at that and perhaps put that on the agenda for October, it would be appreciated. And with that said, I would like to adjourn this meeting of September the 2nd, Parks and Recreation Commission. Good night, Vacaville.